The Truth About Imaginary Gary explained. Our story begins with Mrs. Turner baking a scrumptious yamsberry pie, but Timmy's got other plans. He wants to play Surgeon General, a board game made for 10-year-olds. Unfortunately, his mom and dad are too engrossed in watching the pie bake, leaving Timmy feeling bummed out.
Your mom has front row seats to watch the pie bake! Go, pie, go!
Feeling a little down, Timmy spills his heart out to Cosmo and Wanda about his old imaginary friend, Gary. They used to have epic adventures together, and Timmy insists that his imaginary friend Gary was cool. He even shows them pictures of imaginary moments, like riding a teeter-totter and facing the monster in his closet. In a magical twist, Timmy wishes for Gary to be real, and suddenly, Gary comes to life from a simple doodle. Excited, Timmy goes in for a hug, but Gary coolly declines.
Gary, it's you! Hey, whoa, hey. Public displays of affection are not cool.
Cosmo and Wanda seem to dig Gary's vibe. He greets them as Cos and Juan. Timmy is eager to play with kites and enjoy typical boy stuff, but Gary dismisses the idea, considering them not cool as well. Now, Timmy's super curious, asking, what is cool and abracadabra? Suddenly, he asks his parents for the car keys. Mr. Turner tosses him the keys, but Mrs. Turner intervenes, saying Timmy's too young for that. Timmy then proposes going to the arcade with Gary, causing a momentary panic as his parents worry Gary might be his imaginary friend again, and Timmy needed to go to therapy. But they are surprised when the real Gary appears and charms them with his coolness. Timmy tries to be cool too, but ends up blowing up the oven and the pie inside. At school, Gary pulls off some wicked moves, impressing Timmy's friends. Timmy tries to get them to play Surgeon General, but Gary dismisses board games as uncool and takes off with Timmy's buddies to do something cooler. Feeling left out, Timmy talks it over with Wanda when he wonders where Cosmo is. Even Cosmo is tagging along with Gary, disguised as a dog. During lunch, Trixie approaches Timmy, and he's over the moon, but it turns out she just wants to know about his new cool friend, Gary. Gary is cracking jokes and making students faint with his coolness. Finally, Timmy reaches his boiling point and demands to talk to Gary outside. He asks Gary why he was trying to win over Timmy's friends and Trixie, and why he was making Timmy seem uncool in front of everyone. Gary is starting to reveal a resentment toward Timmy, so before anything can get out of hand, Timmy wishes they were back at home, but Gary counter-wishes, keeping them away. It turns out that since Gary is part of Timmy's imagination, he controls Timmy's fairies too. Timmy tries to get rid of Gary by wishing he was back in his mind, but Gary wishes that Timmy was in there with him, and they are both sucked into Timmy's imagination. Gary welcomes Timmy to the very prison where Timmy had once locked him away. Using the figments of Timmy's imagination, Gary traps him. He puts TV tubbies into Cosmo and Wanda's ears to prevent them from hearing Timmy's wishes, and then he locks Timmy inside a large building block prison, piling up his 5-year-old toys on top of him. However, Timmy realizes that he is now 10 years old and can use his older stuff to fight against Gary. He attacks Gary with a giant Surgeon General robot. Gary retaliates by summoning the monster from Timmy's closet. But Timmy remembers that he had discovered the closet monster was just a green sweater when he was 6 years old. So the monster transforms into the green sweater. Then, recalling his encounter with a real monster named Vicky when he was 8, Timmy conjures a giant version of her from the green sweater, and she attacks Gary. In a twist, Gary gets swallowed by the giant Vicky, but vows to escape in the name of everything that is cool. Before the giant Vicky can reach Timmy, he wishes himself out of his own mind, avoiding the danger. Together, they find an exit door labeled Exit, but it turns out Cosmo forgot to lock it. Finally, the giant Vicky vomits Gary as she hates the taste of coolness. Gary opens the exit door to Timmy's mind, and for a brief moment, he laughs maniacally before correcting himself, stating that laughing like that is not cool.
Laughing maniacally, not cool.